This video is going to be about the easiest way to make DIY resin pigment paste from mica powders. To make your own pigment paste, you first have to start off with some quality mica powders. Bond Craftor was nice enough to send us this beautiful set of shimmery pearlescent mica powder pigments that can be used in both epoxy and UV resin. The set has 24 highly pigmented mica powders ranging from soft pastels to deep metallic colors. They come in these little 20 ml jars, which is the easiest and cleanest way to keep your mica powders organized. It's a mess when mica powder is in little packets. There's some of the colors, and you know what's funny? That Wathet, I'm like, that's not a color name, but actually it is a very pale blue color similar to sky blue. According to folk etymology, the color takes its name from the town of Watchet on the coast of Somerset in southwest England, the cliffs around which appear pale blue because they are rich in alabaster. So we learned a little something today. So before I create the pigment paste, I'm just doing a deboxing here to show you all the colors that come in this Bond Craftor mica powder set. And remember, if you use our coupon Crystal20, you'll get 20% off your order at bondcraftor.com. I'll put the link below. Oh, I have to always drop something as well in my videos. So it's a great range of colors, and even though they said these are pearlescent, there's a lot of metallic colors in here. It was hard to pick which ones to use, but I knew I wanted to stay in the purple pink range. So there, I'm putting the 4 or 5 colors I wanted. I thought those went well together. I believe I take the red one out of the mix and put in a greenish blue. And I think I was limited on my jars. I did end up with green, blue, rose red, which is a gorgeous metallic pink color, and dark blue. So here's a little 20-gram jar and just a plastic cup and a wooden mixing stick. Contrary to what other YouTube videos have shown, there isn't any need to use a mortar and pestle to make your own pigment paste, nor do you need a palette knife and piece of glass. You can simply use a disposable plastic cup and plastic or wooden stick, which makes the cleanup much easier. And I don't know what people's aversion is to actually measuring things, but it makes life much more simple if you can follow a recipe so you know exactly what you will get as an end result. So to make your own pigment paste, the ratio is said to be 3:1. 3 parts mica powder to 1 part resin, part A. This, of course, will depend on how thick or thin the resin is you are using and how dense or light the mica powder is. You can adjust the final outcome to your preference. So since I had those 20-gram plastic jars laying around, using the above ratio, the calculation came out to be 10 grams of resin to 6 teaspoons of mica. In reality, I only used 3 teaspoons total of mica, but could probably have gone to 3.5 or 4 teaspoons. After sitting a while, the resin will separate a bit from the mica, so you could always add more powder later on if you want to. I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon there, so I had to add 4 of those to equal 1 total teaspoon. So using the above calculations, I knew that the amount I mixed would easily fit into the 20-gram jars that I was going to use. You can buy similar plastic jars like this on Amazon or Temu, and they range from about 15 cents each to 25 to 30 cents each. And as you see, I'm mixing the mica in there in like half teaspoon increments. And you don't need to smash this around with a mortar and pestle. I don't know. I think people just do videos copying other people without figuring out if it's really the smart way to be doing it. But as you see there, I'm speeding it up now, getting to my total of 3 teaspoons. Doing it the half teaspoon at a time. You want to make sure you have a mask on, because the mica powder can fly around, but when you're just doing it in the small amounts, it's really easy to mix it into the resin. And hopefully I'm getting up to the 3 teaspoons here. Of course, I'm not mixing that fast. I sped it up. And here's how it is. Here's the consistency after putting in 3 teaspoons. I could never have put in 6. That would have been a little too much for this powder. I did try this with another brand of mica powder as well, and it only took 2.5 teaspoons before it got really, really thick. And there, of course, I'll totally cover up me putting it into the jar, but trust me, I'm just spooning the pigment paste into the jar right now. And the reason you use pigment paste, it's easier to mix into resin when you're creating something. Sometimes when you're just mixing mica powder in, mica powder does give you a beautiful shimmer, but if you don't mix it well enough, you will get little blobs of unmixed powder. So when you make a paste from it, it does give you a richer color to work from. There's the rose red. Look at how beautiful that pink color. It's like a pinkish purple. And actually, there's a little treat at the end here, and I used deep blue, I believe, dark blue. Those I'd already mixed up, so I only showed mixing the one. I have some sample pieces that I tried with this just as a little teaser. They're coming in later videos. So here's a quick reveal of a 3D resin bloom and 2 resin Dutch pours. Aren't those colors beautiful? That was the blue and the rose pink. Rose red, sorry. It's very ethereal looking. And here are just 2 little resin blowouts. I think I used a little bit too much white, but that pink color and the blue just pops. I'll have to use less white and less bronze the next time. Hopefully this video showed you how easy it is to make your own DIY resin pigment paste using mica powders. And this mica powder set from Bond Craftor has great colors.